Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. If this is the first time here, please make sure to subscribe and press the notification button for future videos. Um, Today's video is going to be the first one of a series of videos I'll be posting in the next few weeks and in the next few months. For those of you that have been watching my previous videos, I promise I was going to be recording a series with tutorials on how to digitize uh, different designs with the purpose of embroidering, put a design to embroider then using a very simple embroidery and sewing machine. So today's is going to be a simple overview of the software that I will be using. As you can see on the screen now, I'm using Embrilliance. This software is can be used both on Mac computers and Windows computers. Um, the reason why I'm using it is because I like to work with Mac computers, so it's just a preference. But you can use it in Windows as well. And the cool thing is that if you purchase the software, the same license, you can, as long as you're using this for personal use, you can use it on your Mac, and you can also install it and use it on your Windows computer without paying extra for how many users you're going to be uh, having setting up. So that's pretty cool. The other thing is we're gonna go over this software today. They design these in modules, so you don't have, compared to other software, you don't have several icons on the screen that can be very confusing. So because it's by modules, it makes it very user friendly, and then it's very easy to navigate. And it's just a very well organized software. So to going back to the idea of creating this series is for those of you guys that are interested in embroidery, whether it's for a hobby or you're deciding to start this as a business. um, I started 6 months ago doing screen printing, which I'm still doing, and then you'll see some of those videos on YouTube on my channel as well. And then I decided to give it a try to embroidery. So I purchased a embroidery machine. It's the SE600. You might be able to see it in the back. It's a very small machine. I consider that a portable unit, even though it doesn't have a rechargeable battery. But it's very simple. It's a sewing and embroidery machine. I use that machine mainly for testing. So I do my designs on the computer, and then I stitch it out, see how it came, and then if I need to make some corrections, I do it and then do it again. I also have a commercial embroidery machine I purchased about a month ago. That one is also behind me. It's a Brother Entrepreneur. It's the PR50X 10 needle machine. Of course, this is something that you will get, of course, if you want to take embroidery as something that you would like to do for a long time. It's a big investment, but it's worth it in my opinion. And you can do many different things, hats. You can do clothes, t-shirts. You can embroider on shoes. You can do several other things that we can discuss later on. But going back to the video, so I will be posting two videos. One video is gonna be the digitizing part. It's the software on Embrilliance. I will select a couple of techniques, tools on the software that will be used to do that particular design, and then the second video will be stitching that design using the Brother SE600. So the reason why I selected the SE600, mainly two reasons. One is very affordable. This machine right now, I checked on Amazon yesterday and it was about $450 shipping if you have Amazon Prime. But the second is very easy to use. So you don't have to worry about learning curve on how to do things on the machine. So it's very easy to use. So if you're, usually people when they are in the market for a machine, when there's something new, you don't have a lot of skill, you start simple, and then I think this is the machine that will help you do that. So if if you're here because you're searching and trying to find a machine and getting into the embroidery machine, I highly suggest to check it out. Go to the internet and then see the specifications, and considering you will see in the next few videos how it works and everything. I think it's a very good machine for entry level in embroidery. So let's go ahead and start very quick with the Embrilliance software. Basically what I'm going to do today is walk you through the interface and just give you a brief explanation of what the tools are. So when we start the actual first video and the first design on digitizing, so you have an idea of the terms and some of the tools that we will be using. Let's start with the interface of the main screen. This is the screen that you'll see as soon as you open the software. The very top section on the software is the toolbar, right? So this have here you can create a new thing. You can also open a previous Word file, stitching file. I will explain that later on. And you have the regular icons for saving a project, printing, copying, pasting, going backward if you made a mistake, forward, 3D. I explained that it's something very particular about the software, and showing a realistic view of the stitch once you are working on the software. And the same thing with this icon right here is the density map that basically shows you the the density on a design. So how the design will look, the stitch will look on a particular design. So this is important because sometimes if you're putting too many stitches together, a very dense design stitch, then you could potentially poke a hole through the fabric. So when you click on this, and we'll show you in some of the videos, it gives you like the way I associate this is like if you have a thermal camera that can sense high temperatures that were shown in red. So that's this kind of that's the that feature. So it will show you in red the areas that are very dense in stitches, so you can pay attention to those and make corrections if you need to. The next is the magnifier tool, and then the next is a ruler. This icon right here that says stitch simulator, so the software will have like many other software have the capability of simulating the stitch process that you're doing, and then we'll cover that as well. The selection tool, then this one right here is the preference window. When you click on that, you have many options. One that I in particular want to show you is the hoop, because we will be working with the 4x4 hoop, which is the one for the embroidery machine that we have here, the SE600. So here's the section where you will select that. Most of these are already there by default, but there is also other ones that you can incorporate. For instance, if you click right here, new, you have the option to add a custom hoop. And this is I have done this because on the commercial multi-needle machine I use mighty hoop. Those are my magnetic hoops. I have I think 8x9, 5x7, so you can customize the sizes that you need to if you need to. So but right now I'm gonna switch it. I had it in an 8x9 mighty hoop, but I'm gonna change it to the 4x4. So when I select 100 millimeters by 100 milliliters, you will see millimeters. Sorry, you will see that on the bottom it will show you also the measurements in inches. So let's go ahead and select that and then press OK. So you see how this already changed. There's other features there that I will cover later on, but I think for now that will be the main one to pay a close attention. And then that's the preference the preference window. You have other options that we will be covering, but I'm not gonna get into detail here just to make this a quick video, just an overview on the interface. So the next one, if you have, the way this, when you purchase this software, you have the option to add different packages. So in our case that we're going to be digitizing, we are going to need to buy what they call a StitchArtist. A StitchArtist basically is it comes in 3 different levels, from level 1 to level 3. Level 1 is like the very basic digitizing package. You can get more information on the website, but it has a lot. It's something that has a lot of restrictions, so you cannot do if you want to work with vector images and all that, you have to go a little higher. So I will, in my case, I started with level 2. That's what I still have, a StitchArtist Level 2. That allows you to trace images that are JPEG images, and also allows you to import SVG files to the work area, to the workspace. So StitchArtist Level 2, you have a lot of tools that will give you the possibility of digitizing almost everything you want. And if you want to take this to the next level, you will have to get you will need to get a StitchArtist Level 3, which I don't have. This is more advanced, and I think in the future is something that you might consider to do, but you can get more information on their website, the Embrilliance website, for that as well. So if you see that button that says here create, the create design button, when you click on it, you'll see that this submenu appears. That submenu is called the tool pane, and the tool pane has different sections right here. Let's start from left to right. So on the left you have the image, so you can import an image, or you can import a vector file, SVG, or like Adobe Photoshop or Affinity Design vector file to the Embrilliance platform. You also have the next button right here is the True Type R. If you want to add tags, we'll cover that in the next few videos, but that's there. So the next section right here is buttons that allow you to hide the image. So like this one right here, it says hide the background image. So if you imported an image and JPEG and then you need to hide it, you press on that, and the button underneath that, it does the same thing but for stitches, so we'll hide the stitches. And then you have also the next button here, shows you the sequence of the artwork that you have and that you have been working so far. And then the one underneath that, it will show you also the is the continuous view mode. And then I usually don't use this feature on the software. Mainly I use of course the image, because you import the image of the vector, and sometimes it's necessary to hide the image if you're tracing something, or maybe just reducing the opacity, which I will show you how to do that in future videos. And then the next block here is the drawing tools. We'll cover this, and this is where the idea is that throughout the different videos that I'm going to be posting, we're going to be using each one of these drawing tools. So I'm not going to go into detail, but this is part of a StitchArtist Level 1, StitchArtist Level 1, and then StitchArtist Level 2 on the right side, which is the type of stitches you can add, like the running stitch, the satin stitch, and so on for applique. So that's that section. So the next section right here is this button right here. Let me just disable that. Is the merge design from the library. So what that allows you to do, if you purchase a let me click on it. Sorry, depending on which software you have, which package on the software, you have different options here. Like I have Essentials, so I have the StitchArtist level 2, and I also have Essentials. So if you only got the basic Essential software, you might not be able to see what I'm seeing here, but basically it's like templates designs for some of the regular shapes and so on. As you can see here, you have different shapes, different curve, and things you can use and bring over and bring to the work interface to start with something, and you don't have to trace that. We'll go over that in the next few videos as well. And then you have the create a lettering design. So this is basically to add text. So if you add on this button, you'll see this automatic display here, and then on the right side, this is what's called the property field on the right side. So we're going to cover this in a little bit, but then you will type here. So that's the option for text. And then let me just erase this. And then the last button here will be the merge design, or merge a stitch file. So you could have multiple designs, stitching files that you can add to the workspace, and then combine them and rearrange them as long as they fit in the side of the hoop that you're working with. Then you can bring as many as you need to. So that is the toolbar. We already went over the on the stitch level 2, StitchArtist level 2. We went over the sorry guys, the tool pane with the drawing tools and the stitching tools, and then this is the other one here that is the main, the main well, I call this the soak menu after the toolbar. This is common in the Embrilliance platform. So here you have the option to put the scales in millimeters or inches. You can also, you have the option to rotate counterclockwise, clockwise, flip the image. You can also center the design in the hoop. You can fit the design to the hoop, and then align and distribute. This feature is very useful. You can move this to center a particular design on the top, on the bottom, right, left, and it gives you different options. And then so what you see here now is this particular button right here, remove hidden stitches. You will see this if you have the Essentials package of Embrilliance. Otherwise you won't see that, as well as these two. These two is another package. It's called the Density Repair Kit. So basically, especially for new people in digitizing, and you sometimes do stitches that they had way too many stitches, and then that will cause a problem when you put it on your embroidery machine. So the package, the Density Repair Kit, allows you to quickly select the type of material or the type of fabric that you're using. Let's say you're doing leather, for instance, and then it will tell you the fabric. It asks you what type of fabric it is. In this case, if it's leather, most likely it's going to be a heavy texture. It also the strength of the fabric. So in this case, it's a light strength. And then it gives you some recommendation for the type of needle you need to use and the thread and so on. And it gives you some notes here. But the most important part of the Density Repair Kit is that this vacuum that you see here, when you press on that, it will automatically adjust for the most, I guess, the most efficient way to distribute the stitches throughout the whole design, so you don't have very dense areas that will cause problems. So, and for the most part, it does a very good job. I use it quite often when I was first doing my first designs, and it helped me a lot. I don't use it that often right now, but this is a good feature to have if you're planning on doing that. The rest of the sections that you see here, these screens, it will give you the position of the if you click on a design and you click on any of these buttons, it will tell you the value, in inches or millimeters of where it's located inside the hoop. This is like for registration purposes. I don't use this that often either, but you can potentially just type values here and then just register your design where you needed it to be. So that's basically what you have here. There's other options, like if you click on file, you will see other options here. The same thing with edit, utility, that we will covering when we're doing some of the designs. I don't want to go through the whole thing because it will be a super long video, but there's some features here, some options that you're not seeing on the main toolbar that are hidden in this. And I think this is this is probably the best way. Whenever the designers, the programmers were doing the software, they decided just to display the most common tools so you can see. So to wrap up, I just want to mention two more things we haven't discussed yet. On the right side, this section right here is called the object view. So if you, for instance, let's just draw a figure here. I'm gonna use this tool right here that is called the shape mode. It has some figures by default. You can quickly just type there. So let's type this rectangle. So if you see on the right side, there is a sequence of number. This is how in the stitching compared to other like graphic designers, and other software applications for graphic designer like Photoshop or Affinity Design. You have right on the vector files. You have different layers. So on this you can kind of give an association to that, like layer. But these actual layers have numbers, right? And this is a sequence. So every number that you see here, that's the sequence or the order that the particular design will be sewing to the fabric. So this is very important in embroidery and in digitizing, the ordering in which you apply a particular stitch and the stitch type and so on. So on this block right here, the object view, you will see those sequence, those lines that you're drawing and your design. It could be curve, it could be lines, and so on. And if you click on any of those, there's going to be particular properties for those. To give you an example, if you click in the shape, in the square, right here on the bottom you have the property section, or the property for the selected object. So there you have options to select or change the color, to see what type of thread you're using, also to apply any stitches. So when we apply, let's for instance apply, just so you can have an idea of what I'm talking here. So let's go ahead and go to the StitchArtist Level 2, and we're gonna already selected the shape, and we're just gonna quickly just apply a running stitch. It's this button that you see here under stitch. We're gonna apply a running stitch. As you can well, you probably cannot see right now, but let's click on this. It's like a purple color. Let's make this a little bigger. So I press the number 3 if you want to make it a little bigger. So that's a running stitch. If you click again on the design and then go here to the property box, you will be able to see now all the other properties of that particular design of shape or figure that you just created. Of course, you're gonna see the color. You double click on that section and you can change the color here. I usually use the well, this is by brand, so you can select this. You can search by the brand of thread that you're using. You can also, if you know the name or the number, the specific number of the thread, you can change it. So that's what you will do. Then you click the selection. Let's for instance change it to, I don't know, to gray. Press OK. You see automatically it takes that color. You also have property of the run stitch. You can do, right now it's a double run stitch. You can also do single, and so on. We'll go over this in future lessons. You have other features here like the length of the running stitch, By default is 2.5. There are reasons why these values are there. I think the most interesting part of digitizing and embroidering is not you. At one point, you're gonna learn. You're gonna have to learn how to use the software and the tool, but most importantly, the concept of what's behind the techniques comes throughout the years. You know, there's gonna be it's a learning curve, but those things you will only learn through practice and the years of doing this. Uh, so then you have also other features here that we're gonna cover later on. But just keep in mind this section right here when we're doing the next few videos that I mentioned property selection. That's where all the properties are for the stitch that you're applying. The main so one quick thing. So if you want to bring this back to the way it was before to be able to see the entire hoop, so go ahead on the main toolbar, press where it says zoom, and then you can go ahead and bring it where it says hoop, so it will bring the design to where it was before. So this right here is called the main view, right? So the main view, that's what you're going to be doing your designs. You have the option also right here on the top right corner. If you see this little compass right here, this allows you to, if you click one time, you can basically move, anywhere in the workspace that you need to go to without moving the mouse or anything. It will allow you to navigate easily. And then you have this zoom bar here that allows you to, zoom in, zoom out, and so on. And then the last thing that I want to show you is the status bar. The status bar is right here on the bottom. So if you notice, it has the hoop side, it has the specific information about the design you're doing, like how many stitches, how many colors. So far it's showing that it's a one color, and it has 8 stitches, that particular. So it's useful information you can quickly review when you're doing your design, so to have an idea how long the design will take and so on. Let me just to finalize the video, because I think I covered most of the topics I wanted to for this basic overview of the software. Go ahead and press where it says this button right here that says Stitch Simulator, because it's a pretty cool feature that you can, without going to the machine, before you go to the machine, you can see how the design is gonna stitch. So let me bring this back. Actually, let me do it like this and bring it back to the center, and then let's go ahead and simulate that process. So if you press on the simulator button, you'll see 1 second, guys, let me do this again. You see the bar here where it basically will play like a video of the process, and then you can go ahead and press the button to start doing this. So that's a running stitch. It will go, I believe we set it up to a double running stitch, so it will do that the first time, and then it come back and it does a second pass. And then I don't know if you noticed, but there was like a red and a green button. That's the start and the end point. Those points you can adjust, you can put it whatever you want. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So this is the little green. If you hover over it and move it, you can bring the start point. The green is for the start. Bring it to action, and then you can move the stop, whatever you want to. And this is useful because sometimes you're gonna be doing, most of the times you're gonna be doing complex designs. Just being able to manipulate the end, the start and the end point, reduce the numbers of jumps that the machine will do. It makes the design more efficient when you're doing this with complex designs. So that's everything for today. If you're still watching the video, thank you very much. Please make sure to like the video, considering subscribing, press the notification button for future videos. I will be posting the digitize artwork in the next few days, maybe in the next couple of days. It will be a basic design where we're gonna mention some of the tools that we'll be using, and then the second video I will be transferring that design to the broader SE600, where we're gonna stitch it out and see how it came out, make corrections if we need to. But that will be basically the idea. You guys enjoy the material, and I look forward to hearing from your feedback. If you have any particular requests, any questions you have about anything related to embroidery or screen printing as well, I will be posting some videos about screen printing. You can also check some of those videos already on the channel. Yep, so let's go ahead and finish the video for today. But thank you again, and I hope you guys see you soon in the next video.